So letters are a sort of old is new again kind of tactic. So they were created as a get out the vote tactic by an organization called Vote Forward, first deployed in 2019. Vote Forward is actually part of Swing Left. The executive director of Swing Left, Yasmin Raji, is also the director of Vote Forward. So letters, unlike what Judith was describing, is something that really anyone can do. A 4-year-old can do it. You don't have to be mobile. You don't have to be extroverted. So when Richard was talking about us having actions for any comfort level, any time commitment, any hours, letters are an important part of that, so that so people of any stripe have the ability to get involved. And me personally and Swing Left Peninsula in general are very committed to that. We want people to be able to participate. And so we help make that happen. We've actually even mailed packets of letters to people in far off areas so that they can write with us. So if you could move to the next slide, please. I'm going to go ahead and describe what the letter is. So on the right side of this slide, you'll see an example of a letter. It's a pre-printed template. So everything that's in black is pre-printed on the letter that you get if you come to a letter party or you print them out at home. And the writing that's in blue is what's added, the handwriting that's added by the volunteer. So you can see the amount of handwriting is very little compared to the amount of information in the letter. And some letters now even have a QR code that the person can scan and be directed to even more information about the election or the issues than can be contained in a letter. So Vote Forward is going to have a few different kinds of letters this year. Swing Left Peninsula is going to concentrate on what we call the get out the vote letters. So we write all year. We write these letters all year and we store them. And then we mail them in October, which is the optimal time to remind people to send in their mail-in ballot or go to early vote or go out, turn up and vote on election day. It's a bankable, these get out the vote letters are a bankable get out the vote tactic. So you can't bank phone calls, right? You have to make them at the time, and they're very, very important for turning out the vote. But what we can't do a get out the vote phone call for a November election in July, but we can write a letter. Next slide, please. Okay, now who's going to get these letters? In 2024, the focus is on surge voters, and the definition of a surge voter is someone who's registered to vote. They didn't vote in 2016, but they did vote in at least one major election after 2016. We're going to be writing, obviously, to people in our target super states. And for us at Swing Left Peninsula, that means Arizona, Nevada, and North Carolina. We're not writing for California in the first round because the campaigns, they're not launching campaigns for California in the first round. So we will write for California Central Valley races once they launch those campaigns. So the national goal for Vote Forward and Swing Left National is 10 million letters. Swing Left Peninsula in 2022 and 2023 wrote 7% of the national total that was written. We have the largest letter program of this type in the country. So if we track that in 2024, and there's no reason we shouldn't, we're going to write 700,000 letters in 2024. Next slide, please. Okay, and as I alluded to earlier, letters are for everyone. One of the reasons I got really into letters was because I loved their potential for involving anyone who wants to participate in making our democracy stronger. The letters will be available from us on March 15th. We have a letters website, the address is at the bottom, and you can order letters from us there. You can and pick up from any of these 5 cities. So you place an order on our website saying, I want 50 letters. We put the letter out for you on our porch or on our bench or wherever, and you can pick them up at any time that's convenient for you. This year in 2024, in-person letter parties are making a comeback. We had huge letter parties before COVID. We actually had an enormous, our first like Northern Peninsula letter party in February of 2020 in San Carlos. And I thought, this is great. This is, all these people and all these new people are coming from new places. And then COVID shut it all down. So we've had a few in-person parties since, but nowhere near the number of attendees. So we'd love to see you at an in-person letter party in 2024. A lot of them, if not all of them, are actually outdoors. So if you still have a particular concern about COVID, or even if you don't, we try to make them as COVID safe as possible by having them outdoors. You can also print letters at home with a personal Vote Forward account. Some people like to do this even if they live here, but it's also a way for you to involve your people, friends who don't live in this area in doing writing. They can sign up for a Vote Forward account and print at home print their letters at home. We have a weekly Zoom letter party where you can get training, get your questions answered, and write with like-minded people. And if you're in the area and you want to organize your own letter writing event, we're happy to help. We'll send a volunteer with a bunch of blue pens and training materials, and we'll help you train any writers that you have. So I'm Laura Gottsman again. I'm one of the letter program co-directors. Kathy Ray is the other co-director. And we have a lot of practice now running these letter programs. So like I said, there's no reason we shouldn't reach 700,000 letters this year.